Good evening, everybody. This is Rambler. Okay, so I have heard a lot of stupid shit this week. I've heard a lot of good things this week, mostly just because it's funny to me, but I have heard some really good things. But oh my god, is the media fucking up? Again, as usual. So, a lot of you may or may not know Jesse Smollett. This is a case that has been going on for a month, I believe. I haven't talked about it really because, well, I, unlike the media, wanted to know what was going on. So far, it looks like, well, Jussie is a fucking liar, which is really not very fucking productive for whatever cause he's fighting for, or anybody else that is potentially involved or not involved directly or indirectly. So Jesse Smollett, actor of the TV show Empire, never watched it, don't care to watch it. Not I'm not really into watching TV really. So this guy apparently, not gonna assert anything because, well, we still have to wait for the entire case to be shut. Apparently, Jesse here decided to stage a hoax against, well, Trump supporters, which, well, not really cool. He lied about the incident, apparently. He smeared a group of people. He lied to the, well, kept information from the police. He went on live TV, on national TV, I'm sorry. And uh, the media has been all over this like it's the case of the century, and it's not. Every time things like this happen, the media jumps all over it like it's their gotcha moment to Trump supporters, or in some cases, well, Democrats, and they don't represent the information how they're supposed to. They are failing to do their job. They are misinforming people, and they are causing problems for a lot of people that they really shouldn't be causing problems. So in the beginning, this case seemed really suspicious. It None of what was being reported made any sense. First of all, this started, apparently Jussie got jumped in, I believe, the middle of the night. I think it was 2 o'clock in the morning or something in Chicago in sub-zero temperatures. The story doesn't make sense. Let me find an article and I will link it down below so you guys can see what the story is. And oh my god, the media has been all over this for the past. Oh, look, New York Times. Good. Select all, copy, and yeah, so the media has been covering this story like it's some really, really big deal. And don't get me wrong, yes, racial crimes are a big deal, which is what this is apparent. What it apparently was. It was supposed to be a hate crime, which I don't understand why this would be reported as a hate crime. Oh, okay. Apparently, I can't. Oh shit. Okay, so I'll add the link in later. Yes, this was being reported as a hate crime, which, by the way, guys, in the States, racial crimes are a big deal and they are not a joke. They're really not a joke. Americans don't take kindly to racism in general, but apparently some people believe that we do. It's not cool. Not very productive to, well, hate to sound a little extreme, but it's not very productive to racial relations. It's not good to pit one race against the other, especially in the US. Like I said, Americans, well, we don't really take kindly to that kind of thing. And, well, Jesse here isn't really helping things either. Feeling better, feeling better, feeling better. I'm feeling better, feeling better. Oh, participants. Okay. Oh. I really wish the media would take more time to report on things factually, which they are not. They are jumping the gun on. There has been three, four stories in the past few months. Two stories that I can remember right off the top of my head. In the past 2 months, since the year started, that the media jumps the gun and gets the story wrong. Absolutely wrong. Just, uh, first was the Covington case. Some kids wearing MAGA hats. Well, I'll link that story too. Long story short, some kids were dragged into a story that they really shouldn't have had. This shouldn't have been a story at all. But no, the media likes to do things their way. They want to smear Trump supporters and Trump himself. So they not only lied about these kids, they also they 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 put these kids' lives in danger. Like people have been threatening these kids since his story started, and I'm not talking about just everyday people. I'm talking about celebrities calling for the doxing of these kids. The A celebrity even called for these kids to be the kids' schools to be shot up at. Not cool. And I'm talking about big name celebrities. And some of these celebrities have also called for uh called for action in this Smollett case. Mhm. My God. Yeah, that'll probably keep my video. Yeah, well, if I was gonna get monetized for this video, I sure as hell ain't anymore. I am all for freedom of of speech, freedom of the press, but there is a certain level of responsibility that the media has, not only to themselves, to the public, the consumer. If we have reactionary media, we cannot have an honest debate amongst the citizenry. This goes against what the freedom of speech and the freedom of the press were supposed to be protecting. The First Amendment is not so that people can attack each other. It is supposed to be so that people can disagree. And yes, you you are going to get those people that are going to attack each other. Absolutely. But that just comes with the territory. You're always going to have bad actors, regardless of the policies. And it doesn't help that the media is trying to, it's not only damaging their own freedom, they are damaging the civil discourse, which is extremely important that we protect above the media. And don't get me wrong, guys, I am absolutely in favor of the media when it is being responsible and it is being factual. First and foremost, the media should be factual. Sure, the media is always going to have their opinion. Absolutely. And I take zero issues with that. In fact, I encourage the media to have their biases. Save changes. It's fine. We really shouldn't have a one sided media. That's not good. It's not healthy at all. But when we are having a media that is outright outright lying, when with it in with the example of the Covington case, kids, a lot of the media coverage could have simply been was simply debunked. I kid you not. almost as they were reporting on it, a lot of us went on Twitter, on Facebook, and a stream where the video for the Covington kids came from. Not even 12 hours before the entire story was almost entirely debunked. This is a serious issue that the media has and they need to take care of. It is irresponsible to report on something on a, what was it, 3 minute clip, 3 minutes, 20 seconds, or something like that. That was taken, that was clearly taken out of context. It was so stupid for the media to report on this case like they did. It was not only stupid, it was irresponsible. It was dangerous. These kids got death threats, legitimate death threats, and a lot. And some of those posts, I believe, are still up. And Jack Dorsey did shit. Jack Dorsey and Twitter did nothing to protect these kids. And I took issue with a particular YouTube reporter, celebrity, whatever he wants to call himself. He went out and he spoke out against these kids. He later found out about what actually happened, and in his quote unquote apology, he basically fucking doubled down on this. And yes, I'm calling him out by name, fucking Philip DeFranco, or as some people call him, which well, it's actually kind of funny, Philip DeFucko. Jesus, dude, you still owe those kids an apology. You are just as irresponsible a reporter as they are at times. The only person that I seen reporting unbiased was Tim Pool. I'm sure there was a couple of others, but I'm mentioning Tim Pool because he's the most prominent that is on these people's political side. Tim Pool is left-leaning. He says he's left-leaning centrist, but no, the guy's pretty damn center. Don't think he has single thing leaning left at all. But whatever. You do you. You do you, Tim. Call yourself whatever you want. Doesn't bother me. As long as you stay consistent and keep your ass firmly planted on the fucking fence, dude. Tim Pool has been consistent in every single story so far that I've seen anyway. I'm sure he's been a little inconsistent, a little biased, and sure, that's fine. But Tim, my props to you, my dude. You have been, and I said this in the last stream, Tim has tried to report as many facts as possible, even if he jumps the gun and reports on a story as it's going live. He has tried to, okay, well, you know what? This is the information that's coming in, but this is what journalists are supposed to do. And there are so very few journalists that are in the mainstream or even just below the mainstream, like Fox, for example, here in the States, that they'll jump the gun. Fox, I believe, nearly jumped the gun on the Covington case, and well, I guess they learned their fucking lesson for for the Jussie Smollett case. I hate journalists today. I really do. And Tim likes to say that we need the mainstream because they have resources, they have this, they have that. Well, I have to disagree with Tim on this one. I absolutely disagree with Tim on this one. We don't need the mainstream anymore. We don't. If a bunch of nobodies could report on the Covington story and damn near debunk the damn near the entirety of the story in less than 12 hours without communicating with each other, yeah, I'd say it's about time legacy media dies off. We don't need we don't need cable news networks. We don't need the mainstream. And yes, I know I'm going to get a lot of people mad about this when they watch this, but I don't care. We don't need Fox, even though I like Fox, because for the most part they are well factual for the most part anyway. There are things I disagree with Fox on, but that's neither here nor there. But as far as CNN, NBC, MSNBC, ABC, yeah, you guys in New York Times, Washington Post, you guys can all go straight to fucking hell for all I care. And I'm talking about the publications, not the people. Because a lot of the times it's not the people, it's the corporate interest to get as many views as possible on a story as quickly as possible so that they can get the ad revenue. That doesn't make for good reporting. It doesn't. And it pisses me off that these are the same people that in Europe they are fighting for Articles 11 and 13, I believe, for what was it? I believe it was 11 that covers hyperlinks to news articles and things of that nature. My issue with the media the in the EU is their push for consolidating information to only the mainstream. And a lot of the media here in the States is supporting this fucking push. Just what the fuck? Oh no, what am I reading? Oh. Feeling dead air. Feeling dead air. Sorry guys, I just got a message. I am feeling dead air. It's feeling dead air. It's feeling dead air. The media in both Europe and in the States are. I joke about at the end of my streams about, yeah, ending the Fed. Can we end the mainstream? Can we do that, please, as quickly as possible? Come on, really. Anybody support this? You know you guys want to. You know you want to. Yes. No, but for real, I mean, I wish we really needed the media anymore, but we don't. We really don't need the media as it is anymore. Sure, we could use some of what they could provide. Sure, there is some merit to the argument that, oh yeah, well, they, I don't know, they have the resources, they have the networking capabilities. What of it? We were able to debunk this entire story within hours. And I'm talking about, I don't think it took us 6 hours, and we already knew what more than the media knew in the next 24. That's the power of social media. And I know a lot of people say, well, social media was a mistake. No, no, no. I understand why they say that, but no, social media was not a mistake. Social media itself was not a mistake. We are committing a lot of mistakes with social media. Yes, but but there has been a lot of benefits coming from social media. Come on. The media hates to admit this, but 4chan, a quote unquote far right website, solved, I believe, two major crimes. And oh my god, they have done a marvelous job of destroying a particular celebrity's career, which is actually rather amusing. But okay, enough about journalism. The next topic I absolutely wanted to cover is something that I may get a lot of flack from for. But, well, fuck it. I don't care. It is my opinion. It is my point of view. So, the 25th Amendment, the gist of it, it is an amendment that allows the Congress, certain people in Congress and the Senate, and some higher tiered individuals within the American government to unseat a president. Okay. The argument right now is whether it is constitutional or not. By the literal definition, yes, it is constitutional because, yes, it is in the Constitution. However, this is the problem. This all goes to the translation, to how people interpret the wording and how the courts ultimately rule on the wording. Okay, first of all, the 25th Amendment is part of quote unquote the Constitution. Therefore, it is constitutional. No. Sorry? No, 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 no. What this guy is talking about, I forget the name of this guy who basically tried to stage an overthrowing of Donald Trump. Look, just because it is in the Constitution does not mean it is the right thing or a constitutional thing to do. Here's the problem. Believe that the 25th Amendment requires the burden of proof that the president is unfit or unhealthy and cannot realize his duties. Well, guess what? Yeah, hate to disappoint you guys, but I'm pretty sure doctors would gladly disagree with you. Trump is, well, pretty healthy, and as far as being able to do his job, well, guys, come on. He's been doing his job. He's been keeping his promises. He has been performing as a president should, whether you like it or not. So, no, in this case, it is not constitutional just because it is in the Constitution. Just because you don't like a president does not mean that conspiracy is constitutional. You little fuckers went around and tried to gather information. Well, guess what? You guys get the wrong judge on this case. And yes, you guys could at the very least face conspiracy to commit treason. I disagree with a particular person on this one, only on the wording of what he says. It is not treason, it is conspiracy to commit treason. And yes, I have to do a little bit more digging on this, but as far as I know, this is conspiracy. And no, guys, just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean you get to, misinterpret things. That's not how that works. It's not how the Constitution works. You're the same people that bitched and moaned about the Republicans not letting Obama do things. The same fucking people that cheered on Obama using his powers to declare emergencies to dictate policy. Come on, guys. Let's be honest. Trump is really not doing anything out of the ordinary for a president to do. I do not like what he's doing, but you guys cannot go around and say, well, this is constitutional because it's in the Constitution. Well, guess what, guys? Yeah, Trump is well within his rights to do what he wants to do with the law. And actually, I'm pretty sure he's well aware that the courts will turn him down. I don't think that it's his intention at all to actually get the wall built this way. What this is, and a lot of people don't understand, and I have to agree with some people that, yeah, this may very well be his move to get Congress to finally act. And so frustrating. It is so frustrating. You don't get to say that one president is doing right by declaring national emergencies and another is not. Because guess what, guys? Some of the national emergencies that Obama declared, yeah, some of those had nothing to do with domestic emergencies. And yes, that is what national emergencies should be used for, but they have not been. And I know I'm chiming in a little late on this, but I try to inform myself as much as possible. And well, there's some things that I disagree with from the right, and there's some things that I completely disagree with the left. It just on some things, neither side is acting in good faith. On others, I actually rather agree with some of the things that Democrats say, but I don't agree with how they want to do things. Just like I may agree with how or why the Republicans want to do things, but I may or may not agree with the why or how. Just I mostly just disagree with the left, with the Democrats, and not because I hate them. I'll repeat this as many times as it takes. I don't hate people. I hate their tactics, and I hate their ideas. But I do not hate people, which brings me to another point. I actually have to agree with Sargon on something. And guys, I'm not Sargon's biggest fan. I disagree with Sargon on several points. But when he's right, he's absolutely right. Vandalizing a statue of Karl Marx just because you hate the man? Just because you hate what he was? No. You don't get to do that when the right has read over a Confederate statue being taken down. Several national treasure, well, national treasure, historical figures, statues have been taken down by, well, I say left, but I don't mean everybody on the left. I don't mean that everybody on the left is bad. And just like I don't say that everybody on the right is bad. But the left has taken down statues of what they perceive to be right wing icons. Well, no, guys, that's not how this works. You don't get to bitch about that and go and vandalize Karl Marx's grave. No, that's not how that works. You're being fucking critical. You guys are doing the same exact fucking thing that you criticize the left doing. Which, in my book, makes you a bigger hypocrite than they are. Sorry, I needed a drink. Throat was a little dry. Oh, hello, welcome, guest. Yeah, more like, ah. And how are you? Yes, I'm bitching and moaning about the apparently some right winger vandalizing the statue or the grave of Karl Marx. And I don't agree with Marx at all on anything, but you don't get to bitch and moan about one side vandalizing a statue or a monument or a grave or whatever, and then you turn right back around and do the same exact thing. Yeah, I watched the Sargon video, and as I said previously, I don't agree with Sargon. I really don't. There's some things that I completely disagree with him on. But oh, cool. Is that a good game? Yeah. Why do you guys make me agree with Carl? I don't like Carl. I don't. Uh, Sargon, he understands individualism to some extent, but he's a little misguided. He's. I hate that he takes this stupid political compass test every year. He's been taking the stupid compass test for 3 years now, and he takes it at Atomic made. Who's Atomic? Hmm. I gotta look that up. You mean Atomic? Thought? I think I've watched her. Oh, oh, yeah. Actually, I think I'm sub to him. Yeah. Well, I guess that kind of says a lot about. Oh, actually, I think I am subscribed to that kid. Atomic. Atomic. Am I? Huh. Why is my. Yeah, I am sub to. Huh. My bell's not on. That's funny. Yeah, the kid does great work. I love his work. I've actually been watching him for a little over a year now. Yes, when. Yeah, indeed. This kid actually would probably put me to shame. Actually, I'm pretty sure he would. Almost certain of it. Yeah, the kid's bright and can't say he's wrong on just about everything. I'm sure he gets some things wrong, but I mean, who doesn't? You can try to be as consistent and as factual as possible, but you will eventually get something wrong. But it's undoubtable the kid's got a brain on him. No, well, I'm avoiding using labels as much as possible for myself. But yeah, well, that's about the general leaning I have. And well, I haven't been libertarian for, well, I have been libertarian leaning for just about the entirety of my life, but I haven't really been politically active. for that long. So yeah, I mean, for the most part, yeah. I mean, I've stayed pretty consistent on the libertarian side, and well, huh? It wasn't very hard to push even further. But 10, oh wow, yeah, no, I had less worries in my childhood. I had, yeah, train of thought. Ah, yes, yeah, that's. Oh, you probably believe in some sort of. Get some Sonic. Well, I fall under anarcho-capitalist, but I'm also a pragmatist. So I fall just between a libertarian monarchist and an ANCAP. And yeah, it's kind of weird. Here, let me see if I can find the link to that test. That I actually prefer taking this test because, well, it's a lot. It has Covington articles. Oh, here it is. Copy. Here, this is the test that I take. Uh Actually, I believe you're right. I think that would be what I fall under. But yeah, this is the test that I take. It's similar to the six values. Sect Saxton. Let me look that up. Sexton. Political test. Huh. Who strive to receive? Huh. Okay, I'll definitely look into this one. Actually, I am going to post the link to this particular test, the political skill test, in the description because I don't like the political compass test that I believe it was the Weinstein brothers helped develop. And don't get me wrong, I have great admiration for the Weinstein brothers, but there's some things that their test simply does not account for. And well, not that I have a problem with the brothers themselves, it just their test isn't really The true anarchism isn't just no government. They give me an example. Ask away, bud. But yeah, true anarchism. I believe it would fall under minarchism because you do have a figurehead, but yeah, you don't necessarily need a government body. You do need a for have take the US for example. For what the founding fathers originally intended was actually a very about the closest thing to anarcho capitalism as has been attempted. You can get even less invasive if you remove just about all of the powers from the government. You would need to remove the mandatory taxes. You would need to remove eminent domain laws. You would need to remove quite a few things. Libertarian. Uh, what was it for me? Makes sense, capitalism. Actually, I would. Huh. That's actually something I haven't really considered just quite yet. But it would probably fall under minarchism. Right. And you can have a government without without taxes in the 50s. Do you know where? Because I'm pretty sure it was in the United States. Or even if it was probably just one or two states. Actually, there is, I believe it was Liberland. I believe it's called that they are trying that experiment again. Oh, it's been a couple of months since I've actually looked into certain things. I know we are trying this experiment again in the United States, and it is a functioning state. Well, it's not technically a state; it's, I believe, a county that is trying this, and they are pretty prosperous. They are, of course, they have to abide by federal law, but I believe they've found a way to not have to abide by state law. Uh oh, then it was probably. I know it wasn't Anarchy Ball, cause well, yeah, well, we all know how that's been going on. Oh, thank you, bud. Yeah. Well, I know where to put you. Yeah. Server settings. Yeah, I've been watching Dapperton for a while. Uh, there. This is why I believe I don't exactly fall in line with um anarcho-capitalism, because there are some things that I do disagree with Dapperton on. Yep, I got you, bud. And as much as yes, I do agree that yes, the government has caused a lot of bad things to happen. And yes, the government has caused. Yeah, that's actually where I got started too. Him and a guy called Ranting Monkey. Yeah, he those are pretty much the two I follow as far as politics. But when the drama started not too long ago with Dapperton, I'm like, yeah, I'm just not gonna pay attention for a while. So yeah, I mean, now that he's getting back into consistently doing only politics, yeah, I'm paying attention to him. Yeah, because he's awesome with his videos, and I actually find him very entertaining. He's got great content. Although he probably needs to update a couple of the videos. Just saying, because some of the stats have. Oh yeah, neither do I. Yeah, that actually kind of threw me off the other day trying to find this channel. I'm like, wait, where's Dabs? I can't find Dabs. So I had to go and read through the names. I'm like, oh shit, he changed his fucking whatever. Him and Sargon. Oh my god. What the hell? I mean, okay, yeah, I'm gonna change my avatar too, but yeah, I'm actually gonna let people know while I'm during a video that I'm gonna change my avatar. I'm not gonna tell them like fucking Sargon last minute. Oh yeah, guess what, guys? Well, if you couldn't find my channel, it's because well, I changed my avatar. Well, no shit, asshole. But yeah, oh yeah, Sargon, and Renting Monkey are the two or three that I really follow as far as politics. And Sargon, not so much because I agree with him, mostly because, well, I like his ancient readings. He's got a really good voice for reading. And, well, I'm a bit of a D&D nerd myself, so, yeah, I get to enjoy that. And Dabs, absolutely for the end cap content. And he's he tries to be as thorough as he can in the limited amount of time that he puts into his videos. I just feel like he should really keep his channel drama free. That would help keep his viewers. And he should probably reconsider a certain point of view that he has that I completely disagree on him. I disagree with him on. DO5. The way I found Dapperton is actually really funny. I was looking through. What was it? Sargon is how I found Dapperton because he was answering to a bunch of ANCAPs and libertarians asking statist questions. And Dapperton happened to be one of the people that he was replying to. And that's how I found Dapperton. I'm like, well, oh, cool. This guy actually makes a lot of fucking sense. And yeah, well, Sargon's not really answering the questions. He's just, well, giving non answers. But yeah, no. Like I said, I love Dapperton. It's just, nobody can be 100% consistent. As I'm sure you'll find out. You'll probably disagree with me on some things too. And, well, that's fine. A sentiment? A sentient meme. Yes, he is. He is a bit of a sentient meme. Oh, I have not seen that one. I have not seen that one. Oh, that's right. Somebody doxed him, didn't they? Or, well, attempted to dox him anyway. I think that was about the time I stopped watching. Because, well, drama. I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. I'll pass. But, yeah, what else was I going to cover? I know I covered the 25th Amendment. I covered the Jesse Smollett thing, Covington. And by the way, yes, I will take a little bit longer than most people to do videos or streams on certain topics because I don't like to jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, Anarchy Ball did try to dox him. Yeah, I saw that. And I honestly didn't know who Anarchy Ball was until Dapperton brought him up. Uh, yeah, that is actually a smart move. That I com- why would it? Oh, huh. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, I've been following Anarchy Ball on Twitter, and oh my god, don't get me wrong, I have no problem with purists. I don't, not at all. But when you are so hyper focused on a purity on a matter, you kind of don't see nuance. And Anarchy Ball, I don't know. It seems to me like he just doesn't understand some of the nuances in some of the arguments, which is above all, even with my own biases, I will try to provide as factual information as possible. I really don't want to cover something and not present even some of the information from the left or from a feminist or whatever. And just Anarchy Ball kind of, well, disappoints a little bit. He's yeah, he's a little disappointing because you would think you would think that somebody who is an ANCAP would see some. Yes, we do agree on a lot of things, but oh, sure, absolutely, and I'm sure you could teach me a couple things. I will be subbing to you. I swear I had you never. Oh well, that's why. Oh, you do. Oh, you do some really random things, don't you? Paladin streams. Huh. Yeah, I'm not too much of a PC gamer, I'll be honest. And it's not because I don't understand PCs. It's actually more to do with, well, I just, I don't feel like doing the research just because I don't feel like it. And yeah, I know I could easily. Oh, you play on the PS. Oh, well, I have the Xbox. I'll probably be streaming. Do you need a capture card if you don't have a high enough bandwidth for your Wi-Fi? No, right? Or you're just streaming directly from the console. But yeah, what was the other thing I was going to cover? Oh, does it? Huh, that's interesting. Oh, we'll definitely have to jump in the voice chat sometime and talk about that. What was I going to? Oh wow, I really got distracted. That's a good thing. Feeling better, feeling better. I know I had a story pulled up, which I covered already. And let's see what kind of stupid shit we can. Don't like slates. I refuse to do as much as possible with slates. It caught me when someone decides humor is delicious for a few. That's funny. Oh, it's funny. I love Twitter. It's one of my favorite places to find stupid shit. Ugh, one of my favorite people to follow, and it's because it's just funny watching her reactions to things. Claudia, the ranting feminist. While I can acknowledge that, yes, she has made a lot of good points in the past, oh my god, I love that she will start a post with something that makes complete sense, and in the very next post, she just goes right off the fucking rails, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about now, woman? Claudia, yes, communism is impossible. Most it has to do with the contradiction. For communism, I've always said this. uh, For anarcho capitalism, you do not need a government per se. You do to an extent, I guess, if you want to get really technical. Yes, you do have a form of hierarchy because you do opt in to a company or a business deal with somebody else. Yeah, sure. If you're gonna go that technical, yes, guess you could say that. Yeah, okay, true anarchism isn't possible, but that's the that's a point that a lot of people don't understand. With anarcho communism, because you are a collective, you are always going to do things quote unquote democratically. You are going to vote on things, and you are ultimately going to have somebody leading, which, well, like I said, if you are going to get super technical, that is a form of governance, which is something communists do not understand. You cannot have anarcho communism in the way that communists believe that they can. And it's, oh my god, I heard the stupidest argument. Oh, but you don't need money, but you can still trade goods and services. It's like, wait, but that's capitalism yet again. That's the very basic form of capitalism. If you are trading and bartering, you are engaging in capitalism. If you are going to be a true communist or Marxist or whatever you want to call it, you do. This is what Marx never understood. It's what Marx never understood. You absolutely need the exploitation of goods, services, and labor. Capitalism does not pretend to not exploit each of these things. exploitation is not necessarily a bad thing. It is actually very beneficial to each of the individuals agreeing to the things. Yes, exploitation can be bad, but in the way capitalists want to use it, it is not exploitation as communism wants to put it. Sure, you could say that, okay, well, it's exploitation because, okay, yeah, sure. The business owner, the capitalist, is gaining a profit. What's wrong with that? It's a beneficial exploitation. Why? Because I am providing a service to you for a service or a good to myself. It is a mutual exploitation. It is not. It is not enslavement. It is not enslavement as communists believe that it is. It's not. And there, exactly. We're not all equal. Communism and feminism to, are the same side of two different coins. They want to have their cake and eat it. They want to eat their cake and have it too. No, men and women are not equal. Not all men are equal. I do not have the skills that the next guy has, or the next guy, or the next guy. I do not have the same potential as the guy before me, or the guy before him. It's just simply not possible to have equality. Equality is not. I hate I hate to take the side of Darwinism because there was a lot of things that, yes, Darwinism was wrong in some things too. But sorry, survival of the fittest is absolutely a thing. It is undeniable. Exactly. Under communism, there are two classes, and it is something that even Alinsky says there are the haves and have nots. Exactly. Even, and this is one of my biggest disagreements with Sargon, the rules for radicals. The rules for radicals, although they, yes, could be used by anarchists on both sides, or well, because I mean, technically, we are the opposite extreme, I guess. Yes, the rules for radicals could be used by both sides. Even Alinsky alludes to this. Within communism, there are the haves and have nots. Within capitalism, everybody can exploit the system to their individual needs and benefits. Under communism, You don't get to exploit dick because everybody is equally fucked. And no lube. You're giving the power to. Yeah, oh, exactly. Oh, God. Wage slaves. Wage. That's. Yes, that is actually even a stupider argument than the fucking wage gap. It's like, oh my God. No, that's not how that works. That's not at all how that works. Wage slaves? You mean two consensual parties? No. Working for a wage that you and the employer agreed to, it's not slavery. Slavery is communism because it's either you get paid what the boss wants you, what the government wants you to make. Yes, yes, it is. It is. Under communism, two things happen. Either everybody is a slave, or, well, to use their terms, everybody is a wage slave. Because you literally are working for something you didn't agree on. It's you're working for something that the government tells you you are going to get paid, whether you like it or not. Oh my God. And it's funny, I really didn't plan on making this channel, well, a libertarian channel, because I do plan on having a partner, and he's nowhere near as far right leaning as we are. But I like to have friends that I can disagree with. I don't mind. I don't. My problem isn't with statism itself, despite the fact that I disagree with it. It's not the status that I have the problem with, it is the government itself. That's why I can have friends who are conservative or even centrists. I have a friend that's fairly liberal. My family's pretty liberal. My problem is with the government, the federal, the what's it in Europe, the monarchy. Those are my problem. It's not the people. Although yes, you could one could argue that well, the people give the government the power, but I mean, really, do we? They have the bigger gun. Oh, sure. I'm open to suggestions. And I don't plan on I don't plan on doing debates with very many people. Oh, oh, yeah. Um I wasn't gonna do Naruto. I was actually going to do the Fallout verse. Um, I do plan on doing a series on the NCR as a cronyist society. I know House. I know people like to say that House is a dictator, but he's really not. He's more of a minarchist, I would say, is where I place House. I would place. I would definitely place the. Yes, I would actually place. Yes, man, under anarcho capitalism. That would be the single biggest best example for anarcho capitalism. And I actually have to disagree with the yes men and ending because especially on the on I'm going to be very specific because within Freeside the kings, while yes they had more influence, the kings didn't intend to rule Freeside. They were more of a protected militia. That's what the kings were. That is what, well, we want to have is a private police force. Except for, well, the kings really didn't want pay. They just wanted to be left the fuck alone. But yes, Freeside and the Yes Man ending. I don't believe that under Yes Man, the society would have fallen because Yes Man is not emotional. However, he was programmed to take human guidance, which would allow him to, yes, okay, I'm looking out for the best interests of the people, but I have no qualms about, well, I mean, if I have to take charge, well, I'm not ruling. I am just simply using force. I am not, he wasn't going to rule. And on the other extreme of the yes man is I hate that people say that Linnaeus would have been stricter, but no, Caesar is still far more dangerous than than Linnaeus because Caesar did know what he was doing. He did know what direction to take the legion in. The NCR, I would place uh under, well, I would place it under early, mid to late. What is it? On egoism, I haven't really gotten too deep into it to really have an opinion on it, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I don't disagree with the majority of the libertarian side. There are things that I disagree with, but it's not really things that you know, in philosophy and egoism theory is. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I have no problem with it. Yeah, I'm reading the actual definition just so I could get a better context. Huh? People act for many reasons, but actually, that seems to make Stimmer. Oh, I definitely got to look into this. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, dude, I definitely like diving into these topics. I've actually, yeah, oh, I love the argument. I love the argument the communists give. Oh, well, you don't understand Marx because you haven't read him. Say yes, I actually have. I read Alinsky. I read Marx and Engels. I read a lot of these books. I read 1984. I've read the manifesto multiple times. Animal Farm once. It's like I disagree with it because I have read it. I disagree with it because I understand it. I don't disagree with it because I don't know. Ah, okay. The world's first troll. Max Stimmer. I will definitely have to keep that name in mind. Mark, that's the thing. Oh my, Marks. Oh my god. I refuse to take political and economic advice from a man who was both morally and financially bankrupt throughout their entire lives. It's like, but he was a philosopher, yeah, who was gifted money his entire life and was constantly fucking broke and drunk. His children died. So did his wife before him. Well, one thing was consistent about him, though. He was a communist through and through. Can't say he wasn't. Max. All right, and bookmarked. Uh, and now. No, I don't either. Honestly, when I first started reading Marx years ago, at first I thought, I kid you not, I thought Marx was a kid's fantasy tale, which is kind of funny because when you read it seriously, you realize that it's not. This guy really is a fucking retard. I'm like, holy shit. I guess leftists have been this retarded for the longest time. I love how people, and it's not, I love how people try to blame Marx on postmodernism, but to an extent, yeah, I guess. But we, it's not really the time period's fault. It's more of a, how do I put it? He's the product of his environment. I haven't really read too much into his family background because, quite frankly, I really don't care. It's just a lack of understanding of human nature. It's not necessarily on postmodernism. Marx just simply didn't understand humans. While, yes, humans can be very charitable, humans can just as easily be equally as greedy. Yeah, my free stuff. M- Marx, socialism, communism reject reality. Economic, philosophical, and political. It is. I hate to. I hate to quote this guy. Oh God. It's as Ben Shapiro says. Facts don't care about your feelings, and all the manifesto was feelings. It was pure greed. No benevolence. No. It was pure greed and hatred. It was all feelings. The guy was an anti-Semite, racist, and a bigot. He, yes, pure selfishness. You have to be pretty selfish to believe that you are not going to be corrupted by power because of alcohol. Yeah, indeed. I want free stuff because, yeah, which actually it goes back to what we say now. I want free stuff because, well, reasons. Jeez. And well, yes, and going on that too. If you're, I've heard this said in so many different ways. I don't even know what's right anymore. You're more liberal before your 30s, but you're more conservative after. Yeah, no, no, that's not entirely true. For some people, sure, maybe. But no, most people actually stay pretty consistent. And most people, because of the way government has conditioned our thinking, yeah, most people are pretty, well, what in modern day, pretty down, pretty middle of the road on things. Most people really don't care for our side or Marxists. Marx was the baby boom. Yes, he was. Marx was the baby boomer of German philosophers. Yeah, yeah, that's actually a pretty good. Uh, yeah, Marx was that that creepy hippie uncle everybody has. that's that's actually a pretty good analogy. And yeah, no, I don't believe at all that at younger you're liberal, older you're conservative. No, no. To some extent, it is true because we do get wiser with age. Yeah, but I remember being younger and thinking a lot of the things I do now, but not as, concrete or as firm a stance. I think just as you get older, you start forming more principled arguments. It's not that you become more or less conservative. And for a lot of people, you you have people reading Marx and what not even reading it because a lot of these people haven't read Marx. And I'll quote Marx word for word. And a lot of these people are like, well, that's not what he said. Well, look, I am quoting directly from the fucking book. And it's kind of sad that time and time again, people have been tricked into swallowing this pill that is just, it's a brainwashing program. Uh, uh, yeah, I think I have one of those too. And it's kind of sad. Huh. Like, my family is actually very conservative, so I have very little to worry about that. As far as friends, yeah, well, that's why I don't have friends. I have, I can count my friends in both my hands, maybe even just one, because I don't feel like, just, you know what, having to smack someone in the back of the fucking head for being retarded and then losing a friend. Yeah, I don't think I have family members that are. Well, see, the thing is, I was raised Catholic, and well, we're Mexican, so yeah, we pretty much are the definition of anti-liberal. So I mean, I grew up pretty conservative. Yeah, yeah, that's what a lot of the left, and I'll say it again in this stream. Of course, not the entirety of the left is this way, but the loud minority is this way. You have white privileged liberals who are calling for socialism without understanding a single thing about how the real world works because they are white privileged kids. They haven't had to suffer. Uh, oh, yeah, one of those, huh? Well, people always think I'm white too, so yeah, whatever. I guess I'm white. Yeah, I always get. I love how they say, well, I love that contradiction. It's actually one of my favorites. You shouldn't be racist, but we should always look at color. It's like, wait, no. Not being racist means you don't see color or race, whatever. Being I don't. I've seen that these people don't understand what a real racist is. A real racist doesn't care that people know that they're racist. Of course, you're modern day racist. I'm sure some my vagina. Yeah, the point of feminism is equality in sex, but reality, it's just a way of saying my vagina is superior. Yeah, indeed. But and again, we go back to the same thing. Even within our gender, even within our sex, men are not equal. We don't all have the same skills. We were equal, we would all have the same body type. We would have the same IQ, same everything. But we don't. Racist, it's not exactly. It's not necessarily. It's a bit of a complicated answer to give because, well, people are gonna think I'm racist, but it's not like they don't already think that. It's not 100% the color of the skin that they hate. It just so happens that yes, it they happen to hate, for example, blacks, but it's not the fact that they are a different skin color, although for some people it is the skin color. It is the culture that they hate. It is it's their lack of understanding a lot of the times of other cultures. There's actually several reasons why people are racist. It's not just the oh well you're black so mm-hmm. Well, no, I don't see it as sexist. It's not sexist to point out that women are naturally better in the kitchen than we are, even though a lot of the things that women have learned to do throughout history, well, guess what, guys? Well, a lot of the skills that women have now, guess who they learned it from? Men. When men hunted, they cooked. Of course, over time, they found, oh, okay, well, look, it's probably easier if, well, you start cooking while, I clean up after the hunt or whatever. So, yeah, women started cooking. And there's a lot of, because, well, humans are really, really unique in this, that we are the only species that has actually created a true society. And it's not wrong to point differences in sexes out. Although feminism would have you believe the opposite. No, it's not wrong. Oh, well, yeah, guess what? They're doing it again. Except for they're doing it one letter at a time, apparently. There was a funny article that I read where they were trying to replace the A and the E with an X. And it's not just men, women, it's Latino and Latina. It's supposed to be an X now because we have to be inclusive, of course, because, well, why not? Let me see if I can find this article, which is really, really funny. I hate using the Wikipedia. I'll post this over here. Show general sub promotions. Oh, here we are. Yeah, I just posted it on the Discord because it's actually something relevant to the Discord. But yeah, Wemixon. Yeah, and it's funny how, and I know everybody and their mother has pointed this out, but it's really, really funny how, oh, well, men are sexist, but we can't give them all the same rights as women because, well, we have the vagina and they have a penis. Hey, wait, but we're equal, right? Isn't that how it's supposed to work? No? Okay. There is no consistency in Marxist philosophy or feminism. There is none. And sure, feminism, first wave, if you want to call it that, sure, it achieved some great things with voting rights, ending of slavery, which, I mean, let's be honest, I mean, the state kind of created that problem to begin with, so there's that. Wasn't necessarily that. It wasn't necessarily that. Well, yeah, you're my wife, so well, you don't get to vote. No, it was the state that created that problem to begin with. And sure, you could argue, well, It was a bunch of white men. Okay, but they just happened to be white. This has been going on throughout history, throughout all sorts of races. It's not anything unique to white men. Asian women weren't allowed to vote either. African women weren't allowed to vote either. Well, actually, neither were the men, but not the point. It's not something unique to white men. You're focusing on white men. Uh, I know. I'm skipping it. And I'm disavowing Star Wars. I'm disavowing Captain Marvel until, yeah. Yes. And it's not an issue that is unique to white men. You find it problematic, if you will, because, well, yeah, like, look, I have no problem with a female, black, or Latino superhero. No problem with it. The problem that I have is with you shoving it in my fucking face and telling me that I must like it because reasons. No. And especially when, look, I hate the stupid I hated the stupid argument and I pointed it out. I believe it was on Twitter or on a YouTube comment when they said, "Oh, well, Black Panther's the first black superhero." I'm like, okay, well, I guess Wesley Snipes never fucking existed. Shaq never fucking existed. I mean, there's been black superheroes since before they decided to make the Black Panther movie. You people are just fucking not paying attention. There's been, or, oh, Captain Marvel is the first female superhero. So what the fuck was Wonder Woman? Really? Was she chopped liver? Supergirl. Come on. I could keep going. Yeah, exactly. There were Tumblr posts about superheroes and their realistic body shapes. Yes, exactly. Yeah, look, I mean, we've had inclusion. We've had Aquaman. He's half fish, I think. Well, look, Aquaman, I've never really bothered to read or whatever. Like, I'm not really into comics. I enjoy the MCU because, well, I mean, it's entertaining, or at least I used to. Until, oh my god, it's it's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse with each new movie that is coming out. And this is, and as some people have pointed out, it is progressively getting worse and worse. with each passing decade. And this has been going on for the longest time. And this goes back to what I was mentioning earlier. This is how they are simply conditioning the average person to this way of thinking. I love how progressives love to say that, oh, well, the overtone window has shifted right. No, you've just gone so far fucking left that you don't see how far left the Overton window has gone. You might as fucking well have gone right back a fucking round the circle and ended up in left again. Aquaman spends all his life and should probably be more athletic than his actual shape, but they think Superman's actual body looks buff, looks like a buff guy at a gym. Realistically, should be years more. Yeah, actually, if you really want to look at a more realistic representation of what Superman's body is, you're probably looking at, I don't know, a Brock Lesnar type body. But yeah, no, Aquaman shouldn't have a fucking beer belly. It's like, dude, you realize how fucking hard it is to swim? Really? You're racist because you're skinny. Yeah. Well, I guess that excludes me because I'm a fat ass. Yes, it's denial of reality. And yes, these people have gone so far fucking right. And I've heard it described as a pendulum swing. Well, this pendulum has didn't stop at left and then came back. No, that motherfucker just flat out broke and it's swinging all the way fucking back and it's going right back to the left again. That's just the Overton window has shifted right. No, no, it hasn't. It hasn't fucking shifted right. It's shifted left. It's always going to shift left. Well, to be fair, I mean, 4chan can be a little vile to to the average person. I mean, just saying. Yeah. But to the point of PTSD, uh, no. You could always just ignore it. Just saying. Like, yeah, no, I mean, even I'll stay away from certain places and on 4chan. And, well, like I said, to be fair, I mean, 4chan can be a little wild sometimes. And that's saying something because, well, eh. But this whole narrative that I haven't really been on 8chan. This whole narrative that right after we had our first black president, we get a white one, and well, orange man bad, all followers racist, bigots. Say, really? You guys realize that a lot of the people who voted Obama in, well, pretty much voted Trump in too. So you gotta be saying that about half the fucking population of at least one side as well racist, and that's not accurate. Orange man is, yeah, for real. Oh god, that reminds me. Elisa Milano. The fuck? The orange MAGA hat is the new KKK hood. Really? Really now? Okay, I guess. That's what floats your boat. Then go ahead, keep thinking that, but guess that's the last time I watch anything with Eliza Milano. Don't get me wrong, I loved her acting when she was younger, but when she opens her mouth to talk about politics, it's like, dude, just okay. Did, could you keep it open and well, just not say anything? I really wish politicians would keep their politics, their opinions on politics out of their work. And okay, well, to be fair, Eliza Milano isn't really very much acting anymore, so I guess okay, fair enough. But come on, guys, you're making Marvel movies where your lead actress is saying that white men shouldn't participate. It's like, dude, really? The majority of your audience is white men. Just saying. So you're pretty much asking for your own movie to be boycotted. And I mean, okay. If you don't like the game, don't buy it. Sure thing, EA. We'll go ahead and do that. We're just not gonna buy your game. Which is a great segue to gaming. I have been wanting to cover this for a while. Loot boxes in video games. Oh my god. And it's not just loot boxes, it's the microtransactions and the way people are trying to defend it. How some journalists have tried to defend it. Oh, I forget who it was that tried to defend it and said that, oh, well, microtransactions are fine because, well, people are willing to spend the money. Well, sure. But people are also willing to spend money on a toilet that squirts water up their ass, even though it probably doesn't get their ass clean, you know? It doesn't make it any better just because it's a thing and people are willing to pay for it. No. I mean, sure, I absolutely agree. People have every right to spend their money on whatever they want. That's not the issue. The issue is you are tricking people into buying. That is an excellent question. I've never found it very sanitary. Well, very, yeah, sanitary to an extent. I've never found it very sanitary s- to have a toilet squirt water up your ass. Although, yeah, well, thinking about it, enemas, huh? It's not the point. I don't, I don't like. Okay, sure, you can squirt water up your ass all you want, but I mean, wouldn't you think that you'd still have to wipe your ass clean? Just saying, you're still gonna have to use toilet paper, or you could just take a shower. But the point is, these companies are. I don't like how the left tries to be complex and advanced with their ideologies that have slight differences. What do you mean by that? You mean like how they say that there's different levels of progressivism or whatnot. Oh, oh, there is a bit of a delay in the stream missing. Oh, I forget about that. I guess I should fix that later. Try to have different ideologies with advanced politics. Oh, oh God, yeah. I don't know if you've heard this one yet. Socialist libertarian. Hey, wait. The very first time I heard this, I genuinely had to go look it up. Socialist libertarian. Yeah, anarcho communists. That's exactly what they are. They're anarcho communists who actually believe in the non aggression, which, yeah, well, you kind of need aggression for communism of any sort. Just saying, just throwing that out there. Socialist liber. And I'm gonna quote one of my favorite YouTubers. Their lives make me sad. I might have to tell them. Yeah, I started using that. Try to be. They are complicated. Well, I mean, very simple to figure out, but they complicate their own ideology needlessly. Say it's I love how people try to say that. Well, anar- anarcho-capitalists the are the socialists of the right. Well, no, 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 no. We do not pretend to be something. We are not. We do not pretend that there is no charity and that there is no greed. No, we absolutely acknowledge that there are those things, which is why we don't want to give power to anybody. Yeah, socialists of the left, of the right. Yeah. Yes, I've actually heard this argument. Say no. We actually acknowledge that there is greed and benevolence. However, because people are greedy and so easily corrupted, is why we don't want any form of government. We don't want to hand power over to a select group. A government that, that I believe that, okay, not by definition there should be a government, but there should be a group that should, yes, be there to protect the citizenry, but not rule over the citizenry. They should actually be serving the citizenry. And I'm not talking about slavery, because of course they would be paid, they would have the same rights, they would have equal standing with the citizenry. However, their job would be to exclusively resolve problems peacefully, which is what some of the founding fathers did want. But because they were progressive, they allowed, what their time period would be our socialists to also have a voice. Well, they kind of fucked up. They gave power to people who really didn't deserve it. It's actually rather sad. But yes, apparently we're the socialists of the right, which makes no fucking sense at all. And it's funny because I've heard it several times from several people. But one of the first times I've heard this argument was from an ANCAP. He told me most socialists are essentially just libertarian. I'm like, what? No. How? And he never replied back because I quote tweeted him because I was replying to somebody else and I said, because he was asking, oh, I forget what he was asking. Oh, he asked if somebody asked if it was right or wrong if he is an intelligent. Yeah, for real. That's what I said too. He asked if it was wrong not to be a purist libertarian. And I'm like, well, no, because even if we're libertarian, we have to be honest. And well, you can't be honest and be a purist sometimes. Which yes, you can be a purist and be honest, but there isn't. There is no that's the beauty of libertarianism. You don't have to agree on everything. You don't have to absolutely believe this 100%. That's just dogmatic. That's not something that you're going right back to being a collective. No. We are libertarian because we are individualist. We have our own differing opinions, even though in general, yes, we agree for the most part. And uh, that really blew my mind. I'm like, wait, most libertarians are okay. Yeah, and I swear that broke me. I really didn't know what to say. I genuinely had to wait about 4 hours to reply because I'm like, wait, no, no, no. And I even posted it to a friend. I'm like, explain this to me, and they just laughed at me like, wait, no, that doesn't make sense. And yeah, okay, I'm just making sure I wasn't the only one. And by the way, don't think by any means I'm some sort of intellectual. I'm really not. I just I read a, I read quite a bit. And for the most part, like I said, I've had very libertarian views for as long as I can remember. So it's not something new to me. What is new is well, pretty much just the title. I don't. Even though yes, that is essentially what I am. I don't like to be like, oh, well, I'm an ANCAP. No, I mean I'll use the general term libertarian because, well, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of obvious with the way I present certain arguments that okay, yeah, you're at least libertarian. But yeah, no, I don't like to be labeled or mislabeled by other people. And I find it amusing that nobody can actually be like, "Oh, well, you're an ANCAP, you're retarded." No, no, no. I never mentioned. Yeah, no. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I've read some of the theory, but I'm not very. I made it past high school, but that's about it. And I know plenty of libertarians that are that have far higher education than I do. And yeah, I mean, some people just, like I said, we're not all equal. Some people could have all the education in the world, and yeah, no, it just won't be very smart. I love the argument that, oh, well, we're smarter than the right, so therefore we are superior morally. No, you don't need to be smarter than I am to. You don't need to be. Just because you are smarter than I am does not make you superior to me morally. You can be just as dumb as I am, or even worse, and have higher morals than I do. You could absolutely be smarter than I am and have higher morals than I am. IQ, intelligence, whatever, is not a requirement for moral. It's the same argument that religious folks throw it as. Oh, well, you have to be religious to be moral. Really? That's a fucking funny story because I never remember hearing that uh, in Sunday Mass. That wasn't something we were ever taught. Oh, wow. I've been going for nearly 3 hours. Uh, I think I'm going to cut this one a well, little short. Yeah, right? Like, that's. I was having this conversation a couple days ago. It's like, sure, we need a certain level of schooling for certain things, but for some jobs, you don't really need to know how to read. What I believe is that if your boss and you agree that you should go to school to get a certain level of education, then you should go to school if that is what you agree on. But I do not believe that you should be forced to by the state to go to school because you don't really. Be successful business. They don't have school psychologists to help with mental health. Exactly, they don't. And well, yes, I find that there is value in going to school. Two things: whether you go to school or not should be up to your parents, the school district, but ultimately, it should be between you, your parents, and your employer. Because let's face it, for some jobs, you really don't need to read to be successful at certain jobs. Although, yes, it is very beneficial that you know how to read. That should be an agreement between you and your boss. And if your parents never educated you, then that is on them. That is their failing. They should have sent you to school, but it's not something that the state should mandate. Yeah, well, he's gonna get. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, certain levels of education should be reserved for, I mean, okay, yeah, sure. Your parents and the school district should agree. Oh, okay. Well, I we only want our kids to be able to manage their basic economics. Yeah, that's fine, but that should be between the child's parents and the school. And of course, if your selected trade requires you to learn a higher level of math, then yeah, that should be between you and the employer or the industry. I don't understand this fixation on, well, we need the state. Well, sure, but you don't need the state to dictate what you do or don't do. I mean, sure, the state has done some good in the past, but we've reached a state of we've reached a point where, well, for example, you have this kid on YouTube who was an ANCAP at 12 years old who makes better arguments than people 5 times his age who have had higher education. I mean, the kid sure as hell didn't learn that at any college. Oh, yeah, they have started doing that here. Yeah, I live in Florida too, by the way. Yeah, it's. Ooh. This is how somebody explained to me how they believed government should work. And to an extent, I actually highly agree, but I would change a couple of things. You've seen Starship Troopers, right? That's basically how he believes that the government should work hand in hand with the citizenry. Yes, they were. They were both of them were founded by dropouts. One was a college dropout, and the other one was a high school dropout, I believe. But yeah, no, I mean they were both dropouts. I think the only one that actually got that to finish their higher education was Wozniak, wasn't he? But yeah, I don't think Gates got past high school education. And I mean, well, Jobs, yeah, he got past high school because, well, he was still in college when they started Apple. And it's not just Apple. It's been a lot of, look at George Foreman. The dude barely made the dude didn't even finish high school, I don't think. Exactly. I mean, and like I said, yes, there's absolutely value in education. Nobody is arguing against that. Of course, we should try to educate as many people as possible, but we should not make it compulsory. It, see, it's not it's not necessary to force people to do something. If people want to survive, they will work. And that is not slavery. It is survival, and it is something that we need to keep society going, because those people who want to survive are the people who are going to create something new. Those people who want to survive even more are going to turn out to be your Steve Jobs, your Wozniaks, your Bill Gates, the people who are actually creating something. And yes, some people will argue, well, Steve Jobs never actually created anything himself. Oh, boo hoo, cry me a fucking river. The man basically ran the company, he was the brain behind the operation. But, well, but it's been fun. I am going to cut this here for tonight. And, well, yeah, I should be streaming with them the next week again. I'm keeping these little sporadic because, well, I get busy with life. But yeah, that's the show for tonight. And my normal exit, and the Fed, not all taxation is theft. And you guys have a good night. Thank you.